Good morning, everybody. I hope we're all doing good. It's a new day, and we thank the Lord for all that He's done. We were talking a couple days back about, what factors need to be considered in deciding who your lifetime partner should be or would be. We talked extensively about ensuring that whoever you're choosing to spend your life with, that you have the same religious belief. If you believe in a supreme being, a higher source, you guys have the same sort of belief in this supreme being Christian, Muslim, atheist, whatever you choose, that is how you're rolling. That was in part 1. If you haven't watched that video, I would also put a link to that video in the comment section, so if you missed it, you can come back and watch that video. We also talked about the person's work ethic. Are they hardworking? Is this somebody that knows what they want out of life and are going to do everything humanly possible to go and get it? Number 3, we talked about honesty and sincerity in relationships and how important it is that both parties are honest with each other. Whatever past stuff that you've had, it's time for you to declare them. There's no point trying to hide things, cover up, be a kind of way, just so that you can woo this man or woman, because you feel that if you're not economical with the truth, you might not be able to land that man or that woman that you're looking for. I spent a lot of time also going on about people being emotionally available and the past traumas that people have been through and why some people are the way they are, and that it's important that you go back and understand where the person is coming from. Hello, Sister Amma. Good morning. How are you doing? So that you know where you're going. So we talked about all of those things. Hello, Sister Amma. Good morning. How are you? Today, we are continuing with what we were talking about on Saturday. And the first thing that I want to talk about, the first point is this, that if you're choosing somebody that you want to spend your life with, ensure that this is somebody that your goals in life align with. If you want to have or build a successful life and a career and a happy home for yourself, and the other partner thinks that this is just an opportunity for me to enrich myself and for this man or this woman to take me out of my poverty and, do other things, your goals don't align. Some people think that relationship and marriage is just some kind of a fashion parade where you just get up and, you wear fancy clothes and you go out and you enjoy yourself and that's all there is to it. Hey, big sister, how are you? Sister Aisha, good morning. Unbreakable Glow Mama, how are you doing? And Sister Georgina, how are you? Good morning to everybody. If your goals don't align, if you're not looking in the same direction, if somebody is looking left, the other person is looking right, where are you guys going? The scripture says, how can two walk together unless you're in total agreement? Unless you're in total agreement. If one person wants to go to school, for example, the other person says, hey, no, this is time for us to do some other thing, rather than focusing on what the pair of you want to do. I mean, you're both individuals, and as individuals, you have your own dreams, your own goals, your own ambitions in life. But these goals need to align with each other. There needs to be a conversation that two people have. What is it that you even want out of life? What is your philosophy of life? How do you see life? Are you prepared that the two of us are going to be together and build this successful home that we want? Or do you just want ready-made packaging? There are some men, that's what they're looking for. They're out there hunting for women who have been through the mill, successful, made everything for themselves, and they just come and sit at the head table and claim to be your man, claim ownership of you. The equally women who also don't want to struggle and go through anything with anybody else. Yes, ready-made package. They don't want to go through no hassle, right? After you've made yourself, you've built your mansion, you've bought your Range Rover and everything, they just come and sit at the table as your Gucci wife too. If that is what you want, I guess, then that is your choice. But if you're like the rest of us, I'll use my sister Amma Manson as an example. A couple of days ago, I saw her. She and her husband were celebrating their anniversary. It was so beautiful to see. I was so excited for them. Why? Because those two people, if you've been on this social media space and you've been following Amma Manson's page, she said a lot of things about her life. How miserable it was when it started. How much effort they've both had to put into their marriage to make a thing of it. To be celebrating an anniversary this year. I think it was on Saturday, which also happens to be my grandfather's birthday. So when I saw it, I was really excited about that. Right? It's not something that is easy for those people who are really, committing to each other in every sense of the word. But if you want sugar daddy marriage, that's what you want. That's what floats your boat. I'm not going to sit here and say that, if you're 25 years old, you can't go and marry a 45, 50-year-old man who is made. He has his house, he has his everything, and you just want to go and sit there and be his Gucci wife. That's what you want. This time I said it has cost her half of her hair and given her a pot belly. It's all a mixed bag. Good days, bad days, and everything in between. But why are they here celebrating an anniversary? Because from the very beginning, they decided that they were both going to get their hands dirty. Not that Amma is going to get her hands dirty and my big brother is sitting around, folded arms, watching Amma be the only person struggling here, or vice versa. And that's typical marriage for a lot of people. However, whatever you decide floats your boat. Goals must align. If you don't agree, if you're not in total agreement, I don't know where your marriage is going. So that is that one. Celebrating 20 years of home ownership this year too. That is amazing. Fabulous. Because when other people were sleeping, Sister Amma and her husband were busy investing. Living the life of an aunt. Gathering for later years. If you don't have that kind of mindset, and you're married to a man who just wants to do boys and get out there and have fun, as soon as he gets paid, he's out there, he wants to go and, splash out with side chicks, go partying. And then the only time you see him back at home is when the money is finished, because he blew it all in one weekend. There's no savings. There's no investment for children. There's nothing. Just go and blow time and do whatever they want to do. This Dama says it's crazy. We looked poor for 20 years. Yeah. Today you're enjoying. All of that was working up to today, when you can now sit back and relax. Now that you don't have the energy to be doing what you were doing 20 years ago, now you can sit back and cut back and enjoy your life together. That is marriage. I grew up in a home with parents that have been together for 1977. What is that? 47 years this year? Yeah. And counting. They're there. Was it easy? No. I've seen them lay on the bed together and counting coins. Oh, we're going to use this one to do this and use that one to do that. 47 good years later, they're still here. This is people who really understand what relationship and commitment is all about and do everything humanly possible to make it work together. Not people who get together at the slightest sound of trouble. Me, I can't. I'm leaving. I can't do this anymore. I want out of it, because they never really understood what the whole concept of marriage was to begin with. Many of us girls, we think that marriage is the wedding day. You know, all the flower girls and the bridesmaids and everything, when you're the center of attention and attraction, that is what the whole marriage is going to be like. Forgetting that that is the first day of the rest of your life. So the fact that the first day was like that does not mean the rest of it is going to be like that. Other people as well, they spend their whole life savings on that one big day. Some people can't even afford it. But just because they must also wear bridesmaids dress and they must do this, and some people are in a wedding ceremony and then they want to change clothes 5 times. If they don't change 5 times, then, you know, their marriage wasn't the marriage. It is not the number of times you change clothes, you know. That's not it at all. I know someone who all they could afford was 6 people, the 2 of them and 2 witnesses on either side. They went to the courthouse. They signed on the dotted line. They found a Chinese restaurant a few blocks down the road. They sat there. They had breakfast or lunch or whatever it was, shouted and screamed the rest of the day, and then they went home. The couple went and booked themselves into a hotel for 3 nights, and then they came back home in the same town. 30 years later, they're still together. They've had 3 children. Their kids are now in university and they're living their life. And then there's somebody else who spent $100,000 on a wedding. Moved. She was living her life happily. She met this guy. She sold her house. Moved to wherever he was. They took loans. She worked 3 jobs. They saved everything, every penny and some. They even borrowed money on top of that too. And did this wedding. 6 months later, they are divorced after spending 100,000 Canadian dollars on a wedding, a weekend. They're done. She's on her own. Single baby mama on her own. The guy has jogged on into the sunset and seeing other people. What was the point of this? Been to a few of such marriages who are still at peace together. It is not about the wedding day and all those, you know, trimmings. If you can afford it, why not? It's nice, it's pretty. Yeah, we girls, we like all those, you know, Mills and Boons fairy tale weddings. But at the end of the day, it's not the fairy tale that makes the marriage. You're going to be living with another person for the rest of your life. Are you prepared? Do your goals align? Do you see life in the same manner? Or is somebody in this cocoon and, you know, has this fairy tale thing and the other person is a realistic kind of person? Think about what you want. Make sure your goals align. Then you can have a peaceful marriage, a happy home. Because at the ages that some of us are getting to now, peace is the #1 priority. No drama. We don't do drama. We don't do confusion. We don't do shouting. We don't do none of that anymore. I don't want to jack up my blood pressure. I just want peace and quiet. That's it. So choose carefully. Choose right. Goals aligning. Sometimes when, you know, you start getting into the marriage space in later years, chances are that both of you, or at least one of you, has been in a past relationship before. Maybe you were married before, you're divorced, you've had some children from a previous relationship, and all of that. If you're getting with somebody like that, it might be quite wise and sensible that you take the trouble to understand what happened previously before you get together with this person. And don't forget that first impressions are always important. And when both parties are getting together, everybody is of their topmost behavior. That's just how we human beings, that's how we are. It is when you've taken the trouble to understand the other person and what you're getting yourself into, that's when you actually know all the dirty things that are in that closet that may not, you know, show themselves out on the first date. So sometimes being patient, being observant, seeing how this person behaves is both men and women. It's not one-sided. How did they hang? How do they behave? If it's a guy, for example, how do they treat the other women in their lives, their mom, their siblings, cousins? What are they like just with women in general? If the everyday language is to talk about women as, some men have some very horrible ways of describing women. If that is what your man is like, and that's the way he talks, I will pause a little bit and, pay attention. Because this man, I don't like the way he's sounding. Some men use some very horrible language. I don't want to even repeat it myself. I can't say it. But you know what I mean. Pay attention to all of those things. It gives you some kind of indication as to where this person is coming from, where their mind is at, who they are. And, a tidbit and a taste to what is coming for you. If you also agree to go ahead with this whole thing. Likewise, the woman too. What is her attitude like? Are you paying attention? Are there certain patterns that you are avoiding? Have you opened your eyes? Some of my brothers, when they see fofo, big boobs and big nyash, oh yeah, yeah, that's all. Your mind is sold. But it's not big nyash and big bobby you're going to be spending the rest of your life with. It's attitude, character that you're going to be living with. If you follow Big Bobby, Big Nyash, and the Big Bobby and Big Nyash doesn't have no iota of respect, always wants to cause chaos and confusion, don't come and cry to us that you don't have peace in your marriage. You chose Big Bobby now. Have to live with your Big Bobby like that and make your peace with that. If you're a sister, and all you're thinking about is dimples. Oh, when he smiles, he has these nice, fantastic dimples. It looks so beautiful. He has 6-pack. Oh, Sister Obakit, how are you doing this morning? You were making me laugh so much when you're talking about snow. Which snow? I didn't see any snow. How are you, darling? You're sitting there chasing, 6-pack. Now 6-pack. Is that what you go chop? Is that what you're going to eat every day? This 6-pack, do you know why this 6-pack is even there? I mean, how about this 6-pack being there so that when you're not doing anything the way he wants you to do it, the 6-pack is strong enough to give you oto in your house. I'm not saying people who look nice and have 6-pack, that's how they all are. But I'm just saying that pay attention to the things that are important. It's not looks alone, no. Looks don't put food on the table. I love you doesn't feed you. It's not what's going to make sure that this marriage is working. It's okay if it's there. But what is the person, himself, herself? What are they like? Is this somebody that is going to respect me? Or is this somebody that is very free with giving the hand back and forth? Pay attention. Go sit in a restaurant with this guy. A server comes to serve you, and everything that comes out of his mouth is just insults. Likewise, the woman. Be very, very careful. Because today is somebody else that he or she is mad at. You can just have, a snippet of what it's going to be like when he or she is mad at you now. And those mad days, they come to everybody. The fact that you're married today and you're excited today doesn't mean every day is a happy day. I've spoken to so many older couples who have told me that they didn't always feel in love with their partners. Me, when I was married, I wasn't in love every day with my ex-husband. I didn't love him every day. There were some days that I needed God himself to come and help me with this dose of love for the day because I wasn't feeling it. That's the truth. Anybody who's watching me today here who says, oh, every single day, every second, I was so in love with my spouse, you are lying. But it's the commitment to being together that keeps you going through those challenging times. There are times when you feel like strangling them. That's the truth. I felt it. There are days when you just don't even know what to do with it. It's like, look, let me just walk away from this one. God, please help me. Anybody who's been in this relationship and is being honest, see, Sister Amma is laughing because she knows what I'm saying. You don't always feel in love with that person. It's not an everyday thing. But even when you're not feeling it, because of the commitment that you've made, every day is not Christmas in a marriage. Thank you so much, Sister AC. You don't always feel the love. Oh. Some days, wish you could just, something will just open up and you just stick him in a closet and just close the door and leave him there. They would also tell you the days that they feel like strangling you, they just want you to leave them alone. But because of the commitment that you made, the vows that you took, whatever, and the fact that the pair of you have made up your mind that no matter what happens, we're going to make something out of it. That is what keeps you going. And so, marriage is no joke. Those of us who think it's just wedding day, it's not. It's not, oh, it's not. And so if you don't have what it takes to be married and stay married, I beg. Sometimes you want to run away. Thank you so much, Sister AC. So funny. But it's the truth. And so please, oh my darling, if you are not ready for marriage, it's not a crime. Nobody is holding anything to your head that come whatever, you have to be married. If you don't want, if you can't do it, it's not by force because it's not given to everybody. So watch yourself. Oh. Know that it is for you. You can do it. You can hack it. Be sure before you go into it. If you go with any unrealistic expectations, you'll cry for a lifetime. Because this person, so this man, is that how he snores? This nice man that I see on the street every day. We hold hands and he takes me out and we go watch movie. So now that so this is how he snores, like a moving train. My God, I'm going to live with this train of a man, for the rest of my life. When he wakes up in the morning, is that how his mouth smells? Don't talk to me without washing your mouth. Please go and brush your teeth. Some of my brothers, so when they wake up and they need to go and go and pee. And you're like me and you everything has to be neat in the bathroom. You won't even take put the seat up. Now you wake up in the middle of the night, you're desperate to go and pee. You go and sit there, you're sitting in somebody else's pee. Can you imagine? All these things and a lot more that I can't say here. It's all in that marriage. Because you're now, trying to figure it all out. The worst thing is when the medical issues surface. Sister Amma, if we go there, nobody will get married, I beg. Let's just leave it here for now. He won't brush his teeth. When he wakes up, he looks like a scarecrow. And this is your same husband. The wife too, the same thing. This Bobby that you saw that was all like this, a few short years and a kid or two later, this thing is all pointing southwards like some, sagging mango. Yeah, but it's all part of the marriage. He's lost all his hair. You met a man with a full head of hair. Now all the hair is gone. He looks like something. With a huge pot belly, like somebody that's 18 months pregnant. He's been pregnant and had the child and pregnant again. The child never came out the first time. And he's pregnant a second time on top of the first one. And you're supposed to put up with that too. Now this Bula Matali that was big and nice and was doing all the things and hitting all the right notes for you. Now all you have left is this thing. And you have to manage it because the rest of the effective length of it has been covered by, the 18-month pregnancy. It's all part of the marriage. And it's all part of it. And you have to make do with it. This wife that you could do, 10 rounds. You could sleep the whole night, wake up the whole night, be up the whole night. As Amma Manson will say, you start with kangaroo style, you go to monkey style, you're swinging from your shower, railings and all of that, and finish with lizard style. Now, if you're lucky, if after 2 weeks he even looks your way because he's busy snoring, can't do no more. Or the sister says, hey, I'm tired, my whole body is hurting me. Don't touch my nipples. Oh, it's too sore, don't touch it. It hurts. It's all part of the marriage too. And so my sister, my brother, it's not for the faint-hearted. Being with somebody for that long, oh yeah, there's a lot that goes on. Make sure that you're not making the choices based on what you're seeing now alone. Just be able to superimpose 10, 15 years on that person and see what it will look like. And if you like it, you can go ahead. If you don't like it, oh, my sister, because that six-pack is not always going to be there. This Bobby that you could put in the right place and it stays there, oh, it's not always going to be like that. And you still have to make do with what you have. The point I'm making here is the goals must align. The vision align. That overall, you're both realistic enough to understand that this is not how we're always going to be. We're going to change. But because we are committed that no matter what happens, we're going to be in it together. We're going to make it work regardless. And that's how you make it happen. Not that one person is looking east, the other person is looking west, and you're always butting heads. It doesn't happen. So understand that. If the purpose for some people is just because they are looking to have children, that's not marriage. You're looking for incubator, go and find one. That's real love in marriage. It's no matter what happens, we are going to be in this together. We're going to love each other, we're going to respect each other, and we're going to make it work together. This is the goal, and we're working towards that goal. As simple as that. This is part 2 of this conversation. We will come back. We'll keep going in parts till we've exhausted most of the things that we want to talk about. But all I'm here to remind you today is that this marriage thing, this long-term committed relationship thing, is no joke. Be prepared for snoring like a train, sounding like a frog, all of those things in the marriage, because it happens. It's coming to the best of us. And as Sister Amma says, when the real issues, the real medical problems, we'll talk about that one in the next video. The sum of the things that happen. Incontinence, diabetes, high blood pressure, all of that is all part of the marriage. And you're still supposed to enjoy it in the midst of all of that. And make lemonade out of your lemons in all of that experiences as well. I love you so much. Have a fabulous day today. May everything you set out to do work out well for you. Work hard. Don't give up. Keep going. Trust God. Pray hard. And may your life be beautiful and sweet. My name is Sika. I love you so much. Mwah, mwah.